Another day, another dollar. Alright, how's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here with a Minecraft video, but on a different world. So, the reason I'm not in the, I forgot, biggest streamers? Yeah, biggest streamers. The reason I'm not on that world is because I'm actually offline right now, like I have no internet whatsoever, and it's gonna be down for a little bit. But I wanted to record something because, I have the time to right now, so why not? And what I thought of was, continuing the kind of like the reminiscent, I think that's how you pronounce it, like little thing I was doing with the Xbox, and I'm gonna be continuing it with the my next one that I have, which was a handheld console, the Nintendo 3DS. But more specifically for me, it was the Nintendo 3DS XL. So let me go into some little context for how I experienced it. So when I was younger, like 2011, 2010, the Nintendo 3DS released, and I copped it immediately. I loved it. My mom got me a black Nintendo 3DS. It was awesome. I was playing it all the time, playing these crusty games. They were so much fun. And then it broke. My Nintendo 3DS broke, and I was so devastated because that was the only console I had at the time. I had my Xbox, but that was the only one that I had like legit games for. I used to play so many games for it, and now looking back on it, it's not that many, but it was a lot for me back then. We didn't have much, so I made the most of it. And then I got a second one, which is the Nintendo 3DS XL, which released a couple years later, and that's the one that I have ever since. I never Oh, actually, I think I broke it, but then I got it replaced with a new one. So that's the one that I have now. Because I remember I was playing it like a couple years later, like when I was like 13 or something, and I walked into my sister's room and my mom was there, and I was going to go talk to her. I walked in, I immediately dropped my 3DS and the screen split open, and that was when it happened. That visual stays with me because of how stupid I looked. But yeah, so the third one that I have now is the final one that I ever got because I never broke it again. So it's lasted for a long time, and I was gonna look through some of the pictures and sounds that I recorded on there, but they were all deleted, so I can't really see any of them. And I don't think the 3DS has any way of like looking back through any of the games that you used to play. Kind of like how the PS4 and PS5 lets you see like, oh, this is the games that you've played before. But it's whatever. At least I have the physical copies and some memories of what I had. But without further ado, let's talk about some of these games that I used to play and maybe some memories will come through along the way. So what was one of the first ones that I actually played? Actually, as a matter of fact, I think I should start with the DS games that I have. So I used to I used to have a Sonic Rush, I think was what the game was called. I used to have Sonic Rush on the DS or on the 3DS. Like it was a DS game, but it was on the 3DS because it was backwards compatible or whatever. I used to play that. I remember I got it from like a place that was kind of like GameStop but better in some ways. I was just like, yo, let me trade in this game for this game. I don't remember what game it was that I traded it in for, but I know I did trade it in. I think it was Super Mario 3D Land actually. I'll talk about that game in a second. But yeah, Sonic Rush I played for a little bit. I may not talk about Sonic a lot on the channel or much at all, but Sonic and Mario when I was using the 3DS were clutch. They were fire games. I loved them. I thought they were sick. Like on the Xbox 360, I think I mentioned that I did play Sonic Generations and Sonic Unleashed, and I loved those games. I thought they were fire. And Mario's the same way, but I'll talk about the Mario games in a second. But Sonic Rush, it was a cool game. It was a neat game. Have Blaze the Cat, Sonic going through these DS levels. They were cool. They were cool. For what the game was, I was chilling. Besides, I was like 12, so I didn't really care what it was. But next, I'll actually talk about this game right now. Super Mario 3D Land was one of the first games I ever got on the Nintendo 3DS because it was one of the games that launched with the console, I think. And that was one of my favorite Mario games of all time. It was so much fun going through those levels as a kid, just playing the game. And I remember I was cheeks at the game, but somehow I managed to get to all the levels, like the I don't remember what it's called. I think it's like Star Road or something where you beat the game and then you go to like the hard levels. And being a kid, going through those, somehow I managed to do it even though I was cheeks. I was complete buns, gawky, garbage time. But I did it. And that surprises me to this day because I don't even know if I could do it now. Maybe I had a lot of time or maybe I was just God gamer back then, but like it was fire, yo. Shout out to me back then. But Super Mario 3D Land is one of my favorite games on this console. And it sucks that I traded it in for Sonic Rush because I don't even have that game anymore. And you'll probably see later on that I was kind of an idiot when I was a kid. So it's it you'll see why. I'll explain why later. But yeah, so Super Mario 3D Land clutch game. I'll always love it. If I ever get the chance to replay it, hopefully I'll be able to on the channel. But for right now, a good game in my memories. But next, we're gonna go back to the DS games with Pokemon. You know, I don't talk about Pokemon a lot. I know out of both of us, Reaper is way more of a Pokemon fan than I am. But I played my fair share of Pokemon games. Seen the anime, had a Pokemon booklet of all seven generations at the time, from like the first one, uh, uh Kanto, I think. Yeah, Kanto, all the way to Kalos. I think that was the name of it. So that was the most recent one when I got the booklet. But now there's I think three more generations because I stopped playing Pokemon after Alpha Sapphire, and then you have Sun and Moon, and then you have Sword and Shield. Then you have the remake, and then you have the other one, the Pokemon whatever, the one on the Switch where you're playing in the olden times, and it's like kind of like open world type thing, I think. And then you have the new one that's releasing. I don't remember what they're called, Scarlet and something. But a lot of Pokemon games have released from when I stopped playing. I think that was like around like 2014, 2015, 16 around there. So it's been happening. It's been happening. It'll be dope to play some Pokemon games again and see like what's going on with the story or whatever. But it'll be cool. It'll be cool. But the ones that I have are Pokemon Black, I think. No, Pokemon White version, and then Pokemon White 2. Yeah, so I didn't have any black whatsoever. So Pokemon White and Pokemon White 2. And let me tell you, these Pokemon games were fire, bro. Oh my gosh, like I have the most memories with excuse me, Omega Ruby or excuse me, Alpha Sapphire and Kalos. What was the name of it? X and Y, there you go. I played Y. So I had the most memories of Y and Alpha Sapphire, but Pokemon White and Pokemon White 2 were so much fun. Like I love those games. No wonder Unova was one of my favorite regions, even though it was based off of New York, which was also one of the reasons why I liked it. Those games are just legit fun. Crocodile, one of my favorite Pokemon from there. Like the starters were fire. It was sick. Oh man, excuse me. But these games they live in infamy for me. Well, not infamy, but like they stood the test of time for me when I played them back like a couple years ago. I remember me and one of my friends who used to live in the first floor of my old house. They were the landlord or whatever, like they're their parent or grandparent, I think. I'm not gonna mention their name, out of respect for them, but me and him stood up a good while, like playing Pokemon and we were trying to catch Mewtwo. And this is actually for X and Y, but I don't know why I'm mentioning it now. But whatever. We stood up playing X and Y, and we were trying to catch Mewtwo. And us being kids, we just wanted to use a Master Ball on it. I don't know why we didn't use anything else, but we just used the Master Ball. And like, all right, here, let's catch Mewtwo. Let's be assured that we caught him. But The reason I say this is because when we caught him, we screamed, bro. We were yelling. And my mom was like, "Yo, what happened?" And we're just like, "We caught Mewtwo. Let's go!" And she's just like, "Oh, okay. Can you stop yelling, please?" And it's like, "Yeah, yeah, sorry, mom." But what we were yelling, and obviously we were excited, but like, we caught Mewtwo with a Master Ball. There was no there was no doubt that that was going to happen. We were going to get Mewtwo if we did that. So I'm just sitting here like, why were we yelling? We knew it was going to happen. So it's like we were insane. Like we expected something else to happen. It's so weird. It baffles me to this day. But yeah, going back to Pokemon White and White 2. These games were fire. I love the story. I love the characters. I love the Pokemon. They're fire. Shout out Rubbish. But you know, moving on to the next games. Uh, I think that's it for all the DS games, right? Yeah, because everything else here is like 3DS, and the other stuff here is just a bunch of cases because I have a case for my games and my 3DS. So yeah, I think that's all for the 2D or for the DS games. I think yeah. One thing I do want to mention before I move on to the 3DS games is that I didn't play on the 3D mode because I mean it hurt my head a lot and my vision is already bad enough as it is. So trying to the 3D mode just didn't work out for me, so I never used it. It was just a slider that I would fidget with when I wasn't using it. But moving on, the the 3DS games. Actually, I remember when I was in elementary school, I had one of my friends from school who I think I can still talk to today if I follow them on Instagram so we can just chill whenever. It's not like we lost contact or anything, but for a good while we did actually. I'll talk about that in a second. But I used to go over their house since I was only a walk away and I was like in elementary school and we would hang out. I would go to his backyard and we were just chilling. He had his DS out. I was sitting there in admiration, like, yo, imagine if I had one. That would be so cool. And we were just having such a good time. We were just kids having a great time using technology, listening to epic rap battles of history because we didn't think they were corny back then. It was just me, one of my friends. I won't say his name right now, and two other people who were twins. It was just four of us. We were having such a good time, bro. Such a good time. It was awesome. And we went to different schools. We went to different middle schools. We went to different high schools. Actually, he showed up in my middle school like during the last year. I think he transferred in, and I recognized him and I was like, "Yo, I remember you, bro. What's up?" And then after that, he became friends with one of my friends, and they became friends and all that. And I can hit them up, whatever, and be like, "Yo, let's chill or whatever." It's been a grip. So it's really cool. Glad I didn't lose touch with them, like, at least to a point where we don't talk every day, but, well, not every day, but we don't talk at all, but I could always just hit them up whenever, like, yo, wanna hang out? That's pretty cool. Actually, at least that's how I view it. In reality, it's probably like, yo, we should hang out. Not I can always hang out with them because it wasn't like that. But I'm getting sidetracked. Basically, the memories that I had back then are precious to me and I value them dearly. But let's move on to the 3DS games. So the ones that I have here, I'll start with the ones that I didn't play much. So these four right here. And start with the one that I played the least. So this game, Cubic Ninja, I I barely played this game, but I do remember it. It was basically you were a cube who was a ninja, and you would have to go through obstacle courses, and you have to go through all of them. There were a bunch of different ninjas, a bunch of different cube shapes. There were rectangles, there were cubes, like squares or whatever. It was they all had their own abilities. It was interesting. It was difficult for me because I had to use my mind for once, but it was fun. Well, decently fun. Not amazingly fun like what we'll be getting onto the list. But this game, it was alright. It's enough to mention on the list, so I'll give it its props. I'll give it its props. Um, next is where is it? Batman, Lego Batman, DC Superheroes. Actually, it's Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes. This game I remember having some fun with, but it's kind of like Cubic Ninja where I didn't play it as much compared to the other games. But Lego Batman 2 deserves its props. I was having a lot of fun with it because Lego games are just such earnest fun, especially if you're playing it with friends. Like Lego games are fire to me. They'll always be sick. Even though I don't have a lot of Legos or used a lot of Legos period in my life, the games, oh here, the games are pretty cool. The games are pretty cool. But next we're gonna go on to Sonic Generations, and this one is one that still lives in my head for forever because like I mentioned in the Xbox video, I have Sonic Generations on disc. I still have it till this day, but for some reason I thought why not get Sonic Generations on the 3DS? And for me, obviously now I'm older and I can realize and make or infer decisions like, yo, why would you get a console game for the DS? That makes no sense. You have the full complete version. What you're getting in the DS is a downgrade, at least visually and gameplay wise. Like you're going for a console with less like power compared to an Xbox, even if it came out earlier. Like, you should have just gotten a game that you already don't know, or that you don't know. And even if like this game was great on the DS, I don't care. You're playing the same story. The story literally does not change. You are playing the same story of Sonic and classic Sonic trying to beat Eggman and the original Robotnik in space, in time, whatever. Like, why would you go for a game like that when you could just go for any other game that you have not played before? It makes no sense to me. And I still went through with it. I was such an idiot back then. But I played it, I beat it. It was $30. Looking at the price tag just hurts me. But anyways, skipping that, we're gonna move on to or actually, no, 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 not that. But I just spoiled one of the names. Um, We're gonna go to Adventure Time. Hey Ice King, why did you steal our garbage? That's the full name, full title. And this game was fun. This game was really fun. This game was bordering like the the games that I would play a lot compared to the ones below that I mentioned, or at least like the ones in the 3DS that I mentioned. Adventure Time, that game was awesome. It was a 2D side scroller where you were playing as Finn and Jake. They had all these abilities, all these weapons, all the items that you could purchase. There was a Bomba in there. I remember using it so much because I was trash at the game. It was awesome, but it was fun, yeah. Like, uh, do I? Well, but I guess I don't own Adventure Time anymore. I think I lost it during the move when I moved from my old house to this house. But yeah, that game was really fun. I wanted to like try it out after this recording, but it just didn't pan out, I guess. But yeah, so next on the list, putting Adventure Time aside, is again Pokemon X and Y. I already mentioned this game. This game was really fun, along with all the other Pokemon games that I played so far. The DS Pokemon era, something different, yeah, something different. But next, we got I'll just no. I'll save that one for later. We have Paper Mario Sticker Star. This game, I know gets a lot of bad rep on the internet, but for me being a kid, I had fun with it. It was one of the first Paper Mario games. Well, I think the only Paper Mario game I've ever played. So that's my only experience with it. But I've seen, Thousand Year Door or whatever, and some other ones. So, oh, Super Paper Mario. There you go. That's what it's called. So the story for those ones look pretty cool. But Paper Mario Sticker Star, more of a childlike, relaxed game. It's chill. It's chill. I remember some of the boss fights were kind of crazy, and Bowser being a boss fight or whatever. It was interesting. It was really interesting. I thought it was cool. It may not be your favorite Paper Mario game. It was the only Paper Mario game for me, so holds a special place in my heart. But I'm not gonna say it's the best one because I can't. I haven't played the other ones. But I enjoyed it. For the time I've had it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Next though we have uh yeah, I'll just go over this one now to get it out of the way. So next we have Mario and Luigi Dream Team. So this is a part of the Mario and Luigi saga that's been going on since like the DS, and it's just Mario and Luigi like RPG type mechanics, and they're doing whatever. I know there's Brothers in Time, I think that's what it's called, and there's Bowser's Inside Story, and then there's the Dream Team. This one's based on Luigi being asleep and Mario goes into his dreams or whatever. It's super cool. It's super cool. I had a lot of fun with this game. The art style was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed the art style. Um, where was it? No, yeah. Generally, this game was cool. I beat it. I think I spent like 50 hours on it, or 50 minutes. But I think it was 50 hours because I did beat it. But Mario and Luigi Dream Team, it was a fun game, yo. Like legit, it was a fun game. And I look back on it fondly. I know there's a memory of me and my parents or my mom and my dad. I was sitting on their bed late night, like it was dark, and they were watching TV together. My mom snuggled up with my dad, and I was just playing this game. And it's such a random memory because nothing important happens in it. But I was just sitting there in my parents' comfort, just playing on my DS, and moments like that don't happen anymore. So I value that one. Just makes me appreciate the fact that I have two able-bodied parents who still love me and who I love back dearly. So I cherish that. I truly cherish that. And I hope if you have the same, hope that you cherish it too. And if not, then I just pray for you. Pray that you can find happiness in an equivalent way. Because everybody's different. Everybody goes through their own struggles. Can't all equate it to the same thing or relate. So it's gotta be there for each other. But anyways, let me go on to I think one of the last games that I have. Yeah, one of the last, but not the last. So one, yep, the last one here that has a case is Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. And the reason this game is being saved for last in terms of the case is because it has a story behind it. So my mom bought this game for me when I was younger. Played it. It was awesome. I loved it. And what's it called? During eighth grade, when I was I think like the beginning of eighth grade, one of my friends that I still talk to this day, who actually comments in the comments section, um, we traded games. He gave me Super Smash Brothers 4, and I gave him Alpha Sapphire in exchange, and we just did that. Even though Alpha Sapphire, I spent like 100 hours on it. He just gave me it because I like Smash Brothers and I thought it was cool. But it turned out to be a good idea because when I went to high school, there was somebody who played Super Smash Brothers who had a DS as well. So we just played together during the cafeteria or whatever, or one of our classes that we had together. But it was fun. It was fun. Like I miss my Alpha Sapphire because I don't think he has it anymore. But what's it called? One thing I will remember from that playthrough that I had with him. Oh, the reason why. Oh, he still has it, actually. Excuse me. He still has it, but he deleted my playthrough, so that's why it's gone. So all the memories that I made on that are gone, but my Trico, my Sceptile, my Mega Evolved Sceptile, he will live on forever. Rest in peace, Swag Master or Tree Master 13, because he was like a play on my own name that I had on the 3DS. My name was Swag Master 13. It was different time, right? And his name was Tree Master 13. My disciple, my son. He was great. It was awesome. I loved it. I had a bunch of Pokemon like that. I don't remember what I called them. I know I gave them nicknames, but I don't remember what I called them, except for him. Because Sceptile is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. He's sick. He's actually sick. But so yeah, Alpha Sapphire is put down in the history books, and then well, as mentioned before, Super Smash Bros. 4 is in here. And again, I had a lot of fun with this game. Played it a lot with my friend. It's a cool game. It's not like the one on the Wii U, but it did its purpose. It did its purpose. Had a good time with it. But yeah, yo, that's basically all the games I have on the 3DS. It's one of the bigger ones, but it's not the biggest. That's reserved for the PS4. And with reason because I had that one the longest for sure, even longer than my Xbox, like in active use. So I gotta give its respect to that. The 3DS kind of shaped who I am today. A bunch of stuff on it, like the things on the handheld console itself. Like I know I used to watch YouTube on the 3DS. It was so bad. It was so crusty. But it was my YouTube since I didn't have a phone at the time or a console that had it. So I would either have to use my parents' phone or I would use the 3DS. And since I had internet and a handheld console, I would just use the 3DS. It was awesome. I remember going to GameStop with my mom all the time to get those games. It was sick. It was so sick, man. The nostalgia is just rushing back towards me like it's crazy. But that handheld console, just like the Xbox 360, made me who I am today. It well, it made my childhood a lot better, is what I'm trying to say. I had so much fun with playing through it, experiencing it, going through all that. It's crazy, man. It's legit crazy. Like I'll never be able to like exchange my memories of the 3DS for anything. Like, obviously like maybe money or something, but like even then I don't know if I'll be able to do it. If I forgot everything that happened with the 3DS and like I just gave it away, obviously like when the deed is done, I would be fine because yo, I have like $100 million in my bank or whatever. But me deciding that decision, it's like yo, I'm giving up so many precious memories that nobody ever will be able to replicate or be able to see without me talking about it. Nobody will ever be able to experience what I experienced, what I saw, how I felt, what I was doing, what like how I enjoyed it. So it's just like these are once in a lifetime things that can never be replaced or redone, or at least replicated the same exact way. So they have so much value, it's insane to me. So it's a hard decision. Obviously, some people will take it in a heartbeat because not everybody's the same. But for me, it's a difficult decision. I value these memories too much to just give them away like that. But you know, it's just that's just how I am. So I don't want it to be like, oh, you should feel like that. But oh, my alarm, yo, shut up. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me for now. I think my alarm's telling me to wrap up the video, so I'm gonna just do that. Let me know how you guys feel about the 3DS or the DS in period. I didn't have experience with the DS, but the 3DS, it's basically the same thing. It's just more updated. Let me know what memories you guys have with like those handheld consoles, the DS, the DSi, the whatever, all those, the 3DS, XL, 2DS, everything. Like, let me know how you guys feel about those consoles, handheld consoles. Did you like them? Did you hate them? Do you have any memories with them? What games did you play on them? How did it affect you? I'll be interested to hear them in the comments below. Just let me know. And as always, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoy. I'm not in creative, so I can't look up at Luffy like I usually do. But as always, if you enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing. It means a lot. I always appreciate it. And if not, it's all up to you. It's always your decision. But thank you all for watching as always. Hope you all enjoyed. I think I said that already. I'll check y'all out in the next video. Peace.